Hey crafty friends, guess what time it is? It's paper pumpkin time. We got in our new kit, and if you're one of those that really looks for alternatives, we have 8 alternatives for you today, 2 that we're going to make together. But if you don't know the paper pumpkin kit, kits just provide everything for you. That's what makes them so convenient. You can also take them on the go. So these designs, if you don't have a kit, not to worry. We're going to give you a link so that you can see how each one of them is made. We have some great designs that you can use with all your cardstock and pattern paper. So let's head down to the crafting table. Let's do this. I want to start by showing you the stamps that we got with the kit. Look at those pretty stamps. And this stamp's such a beautiful strawberry. And then this is what they recommend that you use your kit for. This is the designs that they show you how to create. But we created 8 additional alternatives that we just love. I'm going to show you 3, and then we're going to make one together, and then I'm going to show you 3 more, and we'll make another one. But look at this accordion card. It stands up perfectly. Look at that. We cut our mats to fit that diagonal cut right there. We added some beautiful circles. And you know, circles always add such a beautiful dimension to cards. We love adding circles. Look at that. And then when you open it up, this one hides behind the front circle and you have plenty of room to write. So the accordion card is our first alternative. Now check below the video and you'll find a link to watch this video so you can see exactly how to make it. But our next card is one that we just created a video on. We used this pattern paper and we used just a scrap of cardstock. That made it so nice. So once again, for those scrappers out there who like to use scraps, this is the card for you. You'll need to check the link below the video and see exactly how we made it. But we actually saved paper on this one. Once again, we added our circles. Look at that. So cute. And our third one, look at this one. We cut out this beautiful circle right here, added a little basket full of strawberries, and then look at what we did. We stamped on the inside. This is such a cute design. Once again, link below the video. But let's go ahead and make a card together. Now, this is an interesting design. It's a fun fold. It's a little bit different. You're going to need an 11 by 4 1/4, and then we're going to make a few score lines. We're going to score at 2 1/4, and then 5 1/2. Now, these measurements will be listed over on creativemomentsbyg.com, so you'll be able to get these. Now, once we've done that, we want to go ahead and measure the middle part right here. And we know that this is 4 1/4, so we know the middle is going to be 2 1/8. And I put a little tick mark. You see that tick mark right there? I put a tick mark. And now we're going to do something a little fun. We're going to bring in our trimmer. We're going to put that tick mark right in the canal. And then we're going to rotate to the first score line. We're going to put it right in the canal. We're going to make sure our tick mark is in the canal. And just keep playing with it until you get the first score line in the canal. We're just cutting a slant. You see that? Now we're going to do the same thing to this one. We're going to put the tick mark in the canal and rotate this end until that first score line is in the canal. And we have our point cut. This is a very easy card to make, but it is so darn cute. Now the next thing we want to do is we just want to fold that back. Go ahead and bring in your bone folder, give it a good crease. And now we have cut some squares. And our squares are a 3" and then a 2 3/4. I went ahead and I stamped it with the cute little stamp that they gave you with the kit. And now all we're going to do is we're going to lay it just like this. Oh, this is such a cute and quick card. So go ahead and get your choice of glue. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put mine up on some dimensional. Now we're taking the square, but we're turning it into a diamond. So there we have that. And now we're going to decorate it. And one of the punch outs that they gave us was a very large vine. And I just am taking this one little piece right here, and I'm just going to add it just like that. And I'm just going to add it with some tape from the tape runner. And now I'm going to bring in some red gems that I have. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to put a few gems right here just to fill this empty spot just a little bit. And now we want to add this right here to the front. So we know that we just need glue right here on this side. And I want to be able to wiggle. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of glue. And I'm going to get it right where I want it. I'm lining up these points right here on this score line. Oh, look how cute that is. But we're not done. We are not done. We cut apart a card, and we are going to add that right to this front panel right here, just to give it some interest. Now look at that. How pretty is that? Now we're going to open it, and we're adding another panel. We embossed this. This was a card that we cut apart, and we're just going to add it right here, making sure that we have the same distance top to bottom and side. Now you have plenty of room to write, but we're going to go ahead and stamp a little message right there. So I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy, tap, 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 and I'm just going to put it right there. And here's our card. What do you think about this? You hold this and you open it up. Oh my goodness, this is so cute and so easy to create. Remember, you can go to creativemomentsbyg.com, go to the blog, and you'll be able to find the measurements for this if you didn't write them down. We just love this card. So cute and so quick to make. Are you ready to make another card with me? And then I have 3 more alternatives to show you. Let's do this. This card is kind of a Z fold and also a diagonal. So what we did is we cut a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 by 11, and we made some score lines. We scored at 4 1/4, and then at 8. And the way we got this slant line is we put it in our trimmer, and we put the first score line and the second score line, and we just cut right there. And this created a cut. And then all we had to do was turn the paper, add it right at the top, and then just cut down to the first score line. So it's really quite easy. You make a diagonal cut from this first score line to the second score line, and then let the trimmer just cut straight across. And this creates this fold. It's such a pretty fold. We've taken a piece of cardstock and we went ahead and we embossed it. And now we need to create a mat for this area. Well, I have a very quick way to do that. The mat we cut is 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. And all you have to do to get this cut perfectly is we're just lining it up and we're making sure that we have the same margins left to right and at the bottom. Then once you've done that, move it up about one more size so that you actually have 2 times the margin down here. And it doesn't really matter if it's not exact, don't worry about it. Hold it, open it up, grab your scissors and just cut. Now, if you have trouble holding that in the right place, not to worry. Go ahead and take a piece of removable tape like this and just put it on your paper and let it hold it for you, and then you can slice. That's how we get the perfect mat every time. This is a great hack. So we're going to go ahead and lay this down. And you see how it just perfectly gives us that slant that we want. Now we took one of the little punch outs that they gave us and we're going to add it right here on the front panel just to give it some more interest. This is another very quick design that can be used with your stash. You don't have to use it with the kit. Now remember the vine I told you about that came with the kit? It is so nice to have kits though because they've done all the coloring for you. Here's this vine. We are going to add it just like this to the front. And I'm going to pop it up on some dimensionals. And then all we have to do is decorate the inside. So we've cut a mat for the inside, but right here is where we want to stamp our message. So let's go ahead and bring in our Night of Navy. And I want to make sure it gets in the right place, so I'm going to go ahead and just lay it down on the card. Now, if you don't feel comfortable stamping with it on the card already, you can stamp off. I just want to make sure I get it in exactly the right place. And another tip is, once again, use that removable tape if you don't want to glue it down, because you don't want an uh-oh to happen, right? So tap, tap, tap. We're going to close this because I want to see exactly where I want to put it. And look how cute that looks. Now, we have some punched out strawberries that I think we're going to add, and a few little flowers that punched out. So let's see where we want to add those. I think I'm going to add them just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in my tape runner. Going to add a few little flowers. And here we have our Z-fold. Look at this. Oh, so cute. Now let me show you the second grouping of alternatives. Here is a Z-fold book fold. Look at this. How cute is this? It's a book fold. You can see that right here is glued down. We put a little panel on the front to create that Z. And then you open it up and you have room to write right here. You could always write on the back if you needed more room. But look at that little basket. And we also embossed the little basket. How cute is that? Now, here is a faux stepper. Look at that. Here's that vine I told you about. We popped it up on some dimensionals. This came with the kit. Look at that. And finally, oh my goodness, one of our favorite designs. Look at this. We punched out a circle, added some strawberries, used that card that they gave us. You open it up and then you expand it, and look at that. We've even decorated that little panel. So here is group 2. So let's go ahead and bring out group 1 again. Take a moment, leave a comment. Well, what do you think about our alternatives for this kit? And like I said, these are 8 great designs that you can use for your stash. You don't have to have a kit, but kits just make it so quick and easy. You can take it on the go. We love them for that reason. Well, were you inspired? We certainly hope that you were, and that you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and help us grow.